Richie, even in a top of the table clash, the red and black machine just seems to find a way to keep rolling. How pleased are you with that result?
Yeah, to be honest, I'm very pleased, very proud. Obviously, this one is the one that everyone has wanted, you know. This is the one that everyone's been waiting for, so preparation through the weeks has been unreal. And just got to be honest, this is the one I really wanted to play in and win. And so, full credit to the boys that were unreal today.
Did you feel like the extra hype around it? It sort of felt like the Crusaders Blues rivalry is sort of getting back to its best with the way the Blues have been playing it. Could you guys sort of sense the hype around this match?
Yep. There was, and you know, when you're playing the Blues, it's, you know, there's a lot of hype, social media, and whatnot. And for us, it's about staying true to what the Crusader values are, and work ethic, and working hard, being really humble, and just being the best you can be for your team. And you know, there's some outstanding performances there. Sam Whitelock and the boys in the front row really put a show on, but there's 10 other guys in that team that you won't mention that rolled their sleeves up and were unreal, and they're names that wouldn't have been mentioned on the couch or people watching the game, but that's what we do. That's what we love about rugby, and the Crusader boys that love to do it. It's such a team sport, a team game, that the boys love to put their hands up and do things like that.
As good as your record is, Richie, so from what you're saying, you felt challenged by the Blues? Did you feel like they were playing good enough rugby that they were sort of breathing down your next level?
I think it was highly anticipated by a lot of people. For myself, the process was still the same. Mentally, I was still the same. Just another game. But you could feel it was a bit extra. Yeah, whether that's from noise outside or thing, but yeah, it's good.
I think you won 13 in a row against them and 7 on the bounce here. I mean, that record's outstanding because they, you know, have been a halfway decent team for a wee while. Clearly, you guys kind of get up for these big contests, eh?
Oh, every week, you know. We've got a huge target on our back, and everyone wants to take us off. And that's actually a privilege, man. That's something we look forward to. That's a privilege. It's an honour to have that. And for us, it's about living up to that, doing whatever we can during the week to make sure that come game day, we've got 80 minutes to put a performance in with no regrets.
Richie, in such a tight game as that, how handy is it being able to keep just nailing over the penalties when they come like they do? It just keeps the scoreboard ticking over.
Yeah, it's not how we've won in the past. But the Blues defensively put us under pressure, and momentum swings and penalties and some out the gate reverse penalties, and it was all happening. But to apply that scoreboard pressure, I don't think the Blues have felt, you know, was really good for us and good confidence for us, just knocking over in threes. And we can do both, win in threes or we can score tries, but today was a bit more of a test match.
How big of a moment was that series of scrums down on your line where you just kept going back and forth and eventually you won the battle? Did it really feel like rugby turning point?
Right, to be honest, I have no idea what's going on in the scrums, man. Like, I'm defending out there, and you're just waiting, you know, and it was huge for us, you know. We'd been penalised once or twice, and then to get that penalty, and then we gave a silly penalty away for a push. But it was good for our boys up front because they haven't felt that pressure before, so it was good.
Do you put more heat on yourself getting into games like this? You talk about how big it was and obviously social media and everything like that, but personally, do you put more heat that as a playmaker you want to deliver?
Yeah, I like these moments right in the pressure cooker, and that's where I want to be, and that's where I perform my best under that pressure, and it brings out the best in me, brings out the best in the team, and for a few bits in that game, you know, we'll right under the pump underneath our post, and you look around and you got all these eyes looking at you, and you know, it gives you a good indication that they don't want to be anywhere else too, which is great.
Richie, did you get the chance to see how Sevu was after that pile driver on?
Oh, I'm not. Yeah, I saw that. He was okay. Yeah, he's okay. I'll look after him.
Is it just, I suppose, your assessment of that? top of the table clash, but you
Yeah.
guys kind of seem to go to another level out there today.
Yeah, it's after a couple of false starts, we got there, didn't we? You know, it was a hell of a game for us, and coming to Eden Park's got so much history and tradition, and probably what Richie talked about. There's a lot of hype. It was building up to a big contest, which our country needs in rugby, don't we? You guys get to write a bit more, and there's people read a bit more, and you know, hopefully the viewership and the spectacle was lived up to the expectation.
A couple of instances out there. Do you think Kirkland was lucky to escape a card, that neck roll on Sevu? What was your read on that?
Look, I've taken a stance that we're in the refereeing and the call and stuff. They're professionals, they're doing the job the best they can, they make that decision. And then if I've got anything I need to cover off, I'll do it with them during the week, just to make sure I'm clear on the rules. And treat them with as much as respect as I can. So that's the decision he made. There's so much in these calls, isn't it? And there's such many fine margins, and we know they're trying to do the best with them, and just got to get behind them as an organisation.
Razor, what did you like most about your team's performance today? You know, was it that clinical kind of first half?
Yeah.
Where you had a lot of things going against you, or the way you held the lead in that second?
Yeah, I think you're right. How we held the lead, we pulled pressure with the points, and then obviously we'll take a penalty 3, and then we're on our own back fence, and we didn't exit that well. And then they'll do the score straight away, or put a lot of pressure back on us. Once we got that part right, we were great. Held the ball, put pressure on the Blues for a long period of time. Like, it's hard to defend for long periods without giving a penalty away, and we managed to put a lot of pressure on them in that area.
You just talk about Richie Mo'unga, I think he's just been 28 points in a big game like this, and what you get out of him as a playmaker.
You get as much off the field as you do on the field. You get to see him, how he runs his team. You know, he's extremely passionate about his performances and getting everyone to perform at a high level. So he cares deeply about his own preparation and the teams, and when he gets on the field, it's good timing for him. He needs this week off. I think a few of the boys got a few bruises and bumps over the last 4 weeks, so he's important to us. We love him.
Does that flow into someone like a Fergus Burke on the bench and Brett Cameron?
And Ethan Backhatter?
Yeah,
probably not quite the person. It does. You can set a really high standard each day, and he comes in and awesome professional. He keeps our coaches aligned. That's his role, keeping the coaches real clear. So, and part of our leadership group, and he does that.
So is it fair to say that, given the hype around the game, that you actually got a significant win without having to reveal too much of what you can call on in tight games?
A little bit. Like, every game's different, but we've played in a lot of finals where you went off the back of the defence, or you went off scoring tries or penalties. The best way is to get the result. And we knew once we'd scored and we'd come back, and if we'd kicked poorly, that we'd put under a lot of pressure, because then the Blues can just play and it's freedom. They've got to chase the game, and an offload comes off, and all of a sudden you're chasing them defensively, and they showed that. There was a moment where I thought, here we go, 43-26 or 36-20 something, and all of a sudden the game can change so quickly. But we keep control. The leaders were bang on.
You guys clearly never get sick of winning. I mean, their record's unbelievable. I think you've won 13 in a row against the Blues, and they've been an improving team, and 7 in a row here. Tough place to win. What do you guys do to kind of keep? Richie talked about loving the big moments. Is it your senior players, and how do you keep those standards so high? How do you keep kind of your concentration almost?
The mindset for each week is really important. That keeps your consistency, like the skill set and structure stuff that we do during the week to get ourselves into how we're going to play. What's a blueprint for the week, and Scott Henson does a great job around that, and Tamati Ellison's come in and nailed all the stuff around the defence, and with Josh Ron and the combination with our Andrew Goodman, the combination of our coaching group, and I said in alignment with our players, with I lead a lot of the mindset stuff, it sort of comes together quite nicely. So that week becomes special in its own right, and that's probably how you get consistency over a long period of time. And I suppose when you get on a roll and you are winning, you start to it becomes habitual. You love that feeling. It's pretty addictive. But you get a reminder now and again when you're not quite on, and we've got to stay on. Yeah.